Hello guys, Michael here again with another video. So how to make a move for your crush? Let's say that you actually liked a specific girl, a specific woman for some time and you haven't done anything, and now you feel like I had enough. I need to pull the trigger and do something, because that is what you should do if you have a crush on someone, especially if you have a crush on that one for a long time, because regret is way worse than getting rejected. It is, you know. I mean, if you always think like what could have happened if you did something, I mean, that's going to kill you, all right? You're going to have so much anxiety based on that. So it's better to actually get the rejection, but then you can feel confident in yourself that you actually try to do something. But here comes the thing. What should you do if you're going to make a move? Well, here's my recommendation. First, many times it depends on how well you are communicating with her, all right? So let's say that you normally just have pretty small talk discussions with that woman that you really like, all right? You never really get into depth. You never really talk about things that are meaningful. So the first thing you should do is that when you are talking with her, you need to figure out things like what is her biggest interest? What is her biggest wish in the coming 5 years? What is like her favorite travel destination? And why is that? If you can get into a series of questions, I recommend you to actually make sure that you want to discover the unknown in her in maybe 3 to 4 different topics, all right? And you have to write down those topics and get it into your head and really figure out what about her and her relationship to these topics. And then you're going to talk about those topics, all right? And you're not only going to want to know exactly where she want to travel. Let's say she want to travel to Norway, for example. Now it's very important for you to actually ask for yourself, why does she want to go to Norway? And then you tailor your question based on why she want to go to Norway without using the why word, because the why word is so negative charged that try to get away with the why words and instead use other words. For example, like when you think about Norway, what comes to your mind? What would you say make Norway so special? That's better, much better way of asking than saying why Norway, for example, all right? So in any case, what you need to do is you need to get into the meaningful conversation area, which is actually the depth. And every time you ask about something pretty simple, like if you could travel somewhere, where do you want to travel? And then she just says simply one word. Yeah, I use Norway again. She say Norway. Now, in order to take that to depth is, what is the underlying reason why you choose Norway? By asking her, when you say Norway, what comes to your mind? Now, whatever she says, it will be in depth. So we're actually going from the surface level into depth. And that is what you have to do in a couple of topics before you pull the trigger and taking it to the next step. So the first step is to take the conversation into depth, where you're going to understand the underlying reason in different topics. And then the second part is actually to give her a compliment. So you can look her in the eye and say, you know what? I think you are a really cool person. I've always thought that you are really cool and I really like you. You have to look her in the eye and say that. And you say that, and I have to admit, and I just love that pre-frame, like I really like you more than a friend. And then you're quiet. You have to express those words, especially if you had a crush on her for some time, that you just have to make yourself saying that. I know it can create a lot of anxiety to be upfront in that way, but that is many times the only way you can do in order to make her think and feel something, in order to ignite the reciprocity effect. Because if she knows that you're liking her more than just a friend, something going to happen in her brain. She will in some way see if she can reciprocate that feeling. So what you did was to ignite the reciprocity in attraction process, so to speak, all right? But before you're actually saying that, you need to say that based on some context. And if you have those questions you're asking her about, and then take it to depth, and then she's explaining why she want to choose Norway as the favorite destination to do things, what her dream will be in 5 years, if she still want to live here in this small town, or if she want to, you know, maybe advance in her career, passion career in dancing or in acting or whatever that can be. You just have to make her go into that depth, because we know that when she is talking in that depth, that is when she feels great at best in conversations. Her neurotransmitters that are linked to attraction, sexual attraction, bonding, falling in love and all that, those neurotransmitters is now in her brain circulating, all right, in a complex brain chemistry going on in her brain, but it's still going on in her brain, and therefore it's very good to actually say something like, you know what, I really like you. After she had been talking about herself and what she think about things and so on. If you're not doing it after she has been talking about herself and all that, then she's not in the emotional state for you to just be upfront with anything. You need to be able to make her in a special emotional state, which is enough when she's talking about what she think about things and what about herself and so on. That is enough, because she automatically goes into that perfect emotional state for you to then be calibrated by saying, you know what, you're really cool. And I have to admit, I really like you. I always liked you. But I mean, you are so adventurous with London, or we want to go to Norway, and you are so, what can I say, ambitious. I just like that about you. I find that really attractive about you. You see, I say all that things in context to what she had just told me. And there are two things that is good, is that it makes sense because informational-wise, she feel like, oh, but this guy listening to me and he liked me based on not only my physical appearance, but other things. And the second part is when she's explaining things, when she's talking, she gets those neurotransmitters in the brain that get her into the right emotional state for you to actually take it further. So that is what I believe you have to do. Based on science, this is what you have to do in order to optimize your chances to make your crush to something more than just being a friend with her. So if you want to optimize your chances, go with this approach. You will see that it will be more effective than you think, all right? And also, you need a closure. It either works or it doesn't. But in any case, I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere. With you or without you, but I gotta go somewhere. I cannot just stand on one place, all right? Have that in your mind. So you just need that closure in terms of going with her or going without her. I hope this video helped you. I mean, this is a huge area as well. And I really hope that you can pull it off if you have someone you really had a crush on for so much time and you didn't do anything. Make sure to do something now, all right? I will be with you. And please comment below about your progress. And I'll see you in the next video.